We've got a 40-pick 2026 MLB Mock Draft. Let's do it.
Yeah, ain't no problems, ain't no problems, that won't problem with me, no. Yeah.
Let me talk to the chat. They know I was gone for a minute, had to BRB. Had to grab a couple wins with a DID. They sleeping on the kid, I had to do it BIG. I can never be average, and they want a problem with the boy, they don't want no static. I don't need your cosign running with God. Wanna test that, tell them what's happening. Took control, run the game. Best believe I'm shining, dog. Counting in my wins, yeah, I love it when they count me out. Off the leash, shut the chain, boy, I've been a dog. Best believe I run the game, you know I'm in control of y'all. It's like magic, believe I want that static. Yeah, it's like magic, believe I want that static. Yeah, it's like magic, believe I want that static. Beat them up, knock them out. They really don't want no static.
Welcome back to College Baseball Now. Prospects Live's look at college baseball, the MLB Draft, and so much more. We are your friends, your host, your boy, starting with me, Drew Wheeler, Director of Amateur Scouting at Prospects Live, joined by 4 of the team, 4 of the squad, for a 40-pick MLB 2026 Mock Draft. Starting with the gentleman to my left. What is with this camera setup, guys? This is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. I got to be on the top left corner. It's too late now. Josh Catlett. Josh, it's nice to see you, and you're wearing a beautiful hat.
First of all, it's not too late now. You can make the switch right now.
It is what it is. We're here.
All right, fair enough. You're the man in the middle. What's new?
What's new?
Yeah, nice little hat. Had to rep it for this instead of, well, I don't know. I have a variation of hats that have been coming in recently. So I had to pull this back out for the first time on pod. That wasn't a recording of my legs in an Omaha living room.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite videos ever, though. You guys were just doing it raw, you know?
Pretty much. I mean, like the lighting gets it a little bit better here. When I'm looking up at my monitor, you can see the field on the
that's awesome. I did not notice that.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I didn't realize it until after I purchased it, actually, but worked out pretty well because it's clean.
All right, Josh, 5 words or less. How's work going?
Oh my God, I can't do it in 5 words or less. I'm so tired.
Okay. I'm so tired.
I'll see this way. I'm 2 days in, and it's an office of like 14 or 15 people, so there's a lot of focus on me, right? When you come in and say that you're like super tired from the newspaper, it's just killing you and you're exhausted, after 2 days of work, I get it. Like, I understand. It's something.
It's nice to hear you get it, but I do feel for you, buddy. It gets easier with time.
Oh, I know.
Right?
Yeah.
So they say.
That seems like a nice thing to say. All right, we'll bounce down to the gentleman on the left on the bottom row. It's JB Sebastiano. JB, it's a pleasure to see you.
It's great to see you, Drew. How are we doing today?
I'm doing okay. I'm happy to be seeing you, my friend. I know that you've got a lot going on. You last week were very busy at the ballpark, and this week getting ready for the MLB Draft, like all of us.
Yeah, no, it's great. A little time with Team USA before they got shipped off and, finally made that little roster. So we'll see how they fare. But yeah, we'll get to watch the draft and, hopefully me and Josh will be on there for a while and get to chat it up.
I think that's going to be a good one. Okay, real quick, no explanation, just an answer. Most surprising in a good way player from Team USA.
Ooh, surprising in a good way. That made the team or just who I saw?
Who you saw?
Marcelo Hirsch was probably one of the guys that stood out the most to me. He was a wake arm. He threw dominant. I don't think he made the team, but he looked really good in my look that I got.
28 guy, right?
Yeah, he's 28, freshman.
Mm-hmm. What a shame if he was your favorite guy to watch and didn't make the team.
Well, I don't know if he's my favorite, but just the biggest surprise, best up arrow, I guess, for me. Yeah.
Good deal. You love to hear it. Bottom right corner, it is Coach Jake Bargery. Coach, your home state, the state you live in currently, going to be a whole lot fuller in a couple days. The MLB Draft All-Star Weekend coming to town.
Yeah, it's coming to Philly, coming to mine and Quinn's neck of the woods up here. It's been fun. As fun as the college baseball season was, it's been fun to kind of take off the the college baseball hat for a few weeks, throw on the scouting hat again, get more focused on the draft. I'm pretty pumped that it's coming here. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It is going to be a lot of fun. Jake, you're going to have a very interesting view of the draft, but I don't want to spoil anything. We'll maybe get to that later on in the show. And, of course, joining us today, our special guest, an old friend, a good friend, it's Mr. Quinn Martin. Quinjamin, pleasure to have you aboard.
Pleasure to be back.
What? That's a bizarre-looking cap on your head. Can you lean in? I got to see what this nonsense is. That's vulgar. That's vulgarity. I don't know that we can allow that on this show.
Hey, can I publicly say something? Or actually,
wish you would.
Quinn, Quinn, can you please publicly announce to people where you'll be moving to in about a month?
I will be moving to the great state of Alabama, in the great city, but not as great of a city as Columbia. I'll be moving to Auburn.
Wow.
That's an intelligent man right there. That's a guy who's doing great things with his life. He's going in the right direction.
Well, he is going south, so I'll agree that's in the right direction. He's going about one state too far south, but that's all right. We'll let him have it.
About 2 hours west, and he'll be doing even better. He can come join me.
You know, that is true. We'll have a nice triangulation of the superpowers here in the American South. Quinn, we're really happy you're joining us. And you actually, sir, are going to be a wonderful guinea pig because, as it says on the tin, we are doing a 40-pick 2026 MLB Mock Draft. And who else should get the first overall pick other than our guest? We are, if nothing else, gentlemen here. So our guest should have the first pick. We are not playing with a shot clock, a draft clock. We're just kind of keeping one another to task. That's the goals here. We are taking this as we think the teams will. Now, Josh, you set all this up, if I'm not mistaken. We all are drafting for 5 teams, and we're all taking help. Explain.
We all have 6 teams that we're controlling, and it worked out. Shout out to AI for helping me with this, by the way. All of us have 8 picks.
Okay,
and
that's
we all have 6 teams to control. So it's going to be like there's a point in here where like Quinn has 3 straight picks, and Drew has back-to-back picks a couple times in there. Like it works out that way. But in order to even out, we only have 6 teams to control, not too much to balance, and we all have the same amount of picks. It worked out that way. So, I mean, like, Quinn doesn't pick again until number 15 after number 1, but like I told him beforehand, he gets to dictate the entire draft with pick number 1, so that's the trade-off you make there.
That is the trade-off we make. And
I'll
guys,
raise my hand and say, did we forget to introduce Coach Jake?
No, we talked about Coach Jake.
Do you ever listen to him? Beforehand, you started talking about – you asked a guy that's like ask your opinion on him, and Jake talked about him on the last pod, and now you get the intro. Like, do you care about Jake?
Let's do this, JB. Let's do this, JB. Why don't you ask Jake something? We'll reintroduce Jake. Ask him a question about what's going on.
That's even better. Coach Jake, this is the most important question of the. Actually, you did introduce Jake, so I now remember this comment, but I'll just say this, Coach Jake.
He did introduce
Who's your favorite Northeast prospect that no one has talked about so far?
Ooh,
on
love
the
it.
podcast
that no one has talked about so far. We've talked about a lot of guys. Hold on. Probably, we've talked about him, but probably not on the show. Noah Danza from Jersey. We just talked about him right before we got on, so it's fresh on my mind. I don't know. We need to keep moving, but really good player. I think he's underrated. Has a chance to
hand up. Apologies, my fault.
I love it, JB. I love it. I need to have you guys introducing one another more. That really cracked me up. I love that. And yes,
can we start asking you questions?
Yeah, absolutely. Next episode, if you guys will remind me, rather than me, and I'll introduce you, and you all can ask me a question. That's fine.
We love that.
Somebody remind me, because I will inevitably forget. It's not like it's not the busiest week of my life or nothing. Anyway, let's start with Quinn. Quinn, you have the number 1 pick. We joked before the draft, he's just going to take Rock Chalowski, and then we'll be able to move on. But you had a strange look on your face. Quinn, you're on the clock as the White Sox. Take it away.
Yeah, I did have a look, but turns out it was a misleading look because I'm taking Rock Chalowski 1-1. Been my 1-1 all year long. I know there's some words going around about what may happen, but to me, easily the best player in the class. We all know about him, but he's going to be in the show in the next 12 months. He's going to break the signing bonus, and he's going to be the next White Sox franchise player. Easy as that.
Love it. Hey, it's difficult to argue with that. Josh now on the clock with the Tampa Bay Rays. I have a feeling this has been on his mind for several hours now. So really quickly, JB, I'm gonna pitch to you super quick. Odds of Rock going 1-1. If you had to put betting odds on it right now, Rock goes 1-1. What are the odds?
I'd split it like 33% a piece to all of them, like 33 point whatever percent to each of them of the three, because it's just like you're rolling a dice. There's smoke on Twitter about the front office being split between the front office liking Vaughn and the scouts loving Grady, and Rock's not mentioned. But is this just smoke that they're taking Rock anyways? So it's like, I don't know. Who knows?
Who knows indeed. Josh, that is going to bring us to you at pick number 2. You are the Tampa Bay Rays. Who is the next best player in baseball, probably?
Well, I don't know if this answers that question, but in a few years it might. I think I've gone back and forth over this. I think I am just going to take Grady Emerson here. I think this is what they'll do. They've been talking about, or people have been talking for a while about how prep guy, middle of the field guy. I mean, like, he super rangy, advanced hit tool, and he's like, a lot of the thing with him is that how do I word this? Not downside, but one of the hits on him is that you wouldn't, like, people are saying the upside with Grady long term is that you hope he becomes what Rock is now, or what you think Rock is going to also be, but you're paying a little more for him. That said, I think he can very much become that. I think it's one of the better prep shortstops we've seen in a while. I think it'll pan out pretty well, and I think this is probably what the Rays, unless Grady goes first somehow, I think no matter which of the other two goes first, if Grady's on the board for Tampa at 2, I think they take him.
I lean that way myself as well. Jake, we're about to come up to you with the Twins. Jake is representing the great state of Minnesota, the great organization of the Twins. Quinn, what was the thought? Was there ever any inkling like, maybe I'll take Emerson right here?
For me, no, but I guess there was a little bit of pause just given how much smoke has been coming out about the two of Grady and Vaughn. But for me, it was never a debate.
I understand. JB, so you are representing San Francisco. You said earlier in our text thread, you have been in the blender for hours as it pertains to number 4. Do you think there's any chance that Jake goes off board here and maybe doesn't select Von Lackey? What would you put those odds at, JB?
0%. I think I'm cooking in the kitchen with the blender I was debating earlier.
Good deal.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask you to set odds on everything all night, JB. I think that's gonna be
I'll take it. I'll take the odds guy.
Jake, that brings us to you with pick 3, the Minnesota Twins. What are we thinking?
Yeah, I mean, whenever we came up with the teams that we were going to be picking, I kind of knew that this was going to be probably the easiest pick in the draft. I'm thinking number 3. Sorry, JB, you're not going to have too much time to think about your next one. I'm going to go Von Lackey. He's just, I mean, these are just the top 3 players in the class, and I think they've separated themselves enough to where I don't think, whatever order they end up going in, I know there's, been questions and whatnot about the order of these guys, but I think these are going to be the top 3 picks, regardless of how it goes. Twins, they like college bats. They like proven college bats, and I think he just fits really well with what they have going on, and he just happened to be the guy that got to him. So I'm going Von Lackey at 3.
It is just one of those things that just happens to work out. Josh, I do want to ask you, Brock, Grady, Vaughn. We've seen that in mocks constantly, and so, of course, what else is new with us? I do think that there's a lot of logic behind it, though. It seems like these 3 picks, with Rock being kind of the established one all season long and proving it, is keeping pace. Emerson being the prep guy that the Rays can develop, and then Lackey being almost that kind of, I hate the phrase unicorn, as you'll see in an article very soon, you all watching at prospectslive.com. But I mean, it is incredible tools for a catcher that the Twins can plug and play almost. It almost feels like it's too simple of a fit.
It is. And I mean, these 3 picks are the top 3 for a reason. I mean, like, everyone knows, or most people know, that the MLB draft is the one mainstream draft that is not dictated based on talent or based on fit or any of that kind of stuff. The agents control it, and like That's just kind of how it goes. But I think these are the consensus top 3 talents across the board, except for people that want to be, just a little bit different into like a Lombard of Florida, whatever. But I think these 3 guys have the best combo of high ceiling and high floor in the entire class. And I'd be shocked unless, I don't know, like I just mentioned, unless Rock's agent or whoever's agent works their magic and gets someone down to 4, I'd be floored if one of these 3 guys is available outside of the top 3.
It would be something, wouldn't it? And that, JB, is going to bring us to you. You've escaped the blender in time to select for number 4, the San Francisco Giants. Who are we going with?
Yeah, so, kind of Posey right now, we've seen a push from him to try to make this team a bit of a contender here, although it hasn't gone great for this club. And I think along with that, I think they're going to look for kind of a polished guy, like similar to last year with Keelan. I'm going to take Jackson Flora. It could be kind of chalk, but I'm going to go with Flora. I think he's the guy that kind of fits the mold of what they've done in the past. He's a solid, secure pick for them, and I think Posey's going to value that. So I'm going to go with him.
Jackson Flora, the pick at number 4. Quinn, I'm going to go to you here. Flora, the number 1 pitcher off the board. Do you think there's any surprise there?
No, I think this is probably the ceiling for him, but I don't think his floor is much lower. Like, there's a clear top 3. I think he's the start of that tier 2.
Very good. Okay, cool. Josh, same question. Any kind of pushback there, or do you agree that it's kind of Flora is the consensus-ish number 1 pitcher off the board?
I don't think there's even relatively any kind of debate. I mean, like, if you're going consensus against all public boards and what you think, internal draft boards are, there are a lot of people that have Flora as the only pitcher inside the top 10. Like, that's not uncommon at all. I forget if we might have Fluky in there. I'm not really sure. Maybe Rojas. But, I mean, like, at the very least, there's a lot of people that have him as the only pitcher inside the top 7, 8, whatever it may be. So it'd have to take some crazy money thing to go on for him to not be the first arm off the board.
I think that's fair for sure. Jake, that is going to bring us to you at number 5 for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Sticking in your current state, just shifted a little bit. Geography, how does it work? Anyway, Jake, that's going to bring us to you, Mr. Pirate. Who you picking?
Yeah, I think with Flora going, that helps me out a little bit. There's a couple high school bats that could be in contention here. I'm going to probably go with the one that most people have projected to go first in Eric Booth Jr. I think just he's a sure bat right now, good athlete in the outfield. I think, I've seen Lombard's name thrown around there. I've seen guys like Drew Burris up this high up on the board, but and I feel like there's going to be a certain demographic kind of go before my next pick. I think there's going to be a run on a certain group of players. I'm going to go with Eric Booth. I think he's got the upside to go in the top 5, and people have been saying his name here a lot for a reason. So that's going to be my pick for the Pirates.
Very good, very good. Josh, Booth to the Pirates. I think that there's a lot of track record for that sort of selection. A lot of tools, a lot of that athleticism, a lot of that explosiveness with a certain unrefined edge to the player still. Could be outstanding. Could be, a catalyst for a team who's already looking very, very good.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of expected Jake to go Lombard there. I can't lie. I feel like it's relatively split, but I feel like that's the prep bat I've seen go off the board after Emerson the most. But I've seen Booth as high as 4. I've seen Booth as low as, I want to say, 9. Like, Lombard's a similar range. I think it is on brand for the Pirates, though, just like the demographic of player. They also, they have no distinct track record of what they, in the past, 3-4 years. There's no specific first pick they have in the draft. They go with prep arm, college bat, whatever it may be. That's not a really definite thing for them. So I think they probably will just take, obviously pending money, agents, whatever. They'll probably just do their best to take best available. And if they like Booth better than Lombard, then guess this will be the pick.
Yeah, there you go. Guess so. It's going to be interesting to see for sure. I think that was a very interesting experiment for Jake, who Jake, I don't know that you've had to answer this question straight up, but I mean, you clearly prefer Booth to Lombard then.
Yeah, I mean, no, I haven't had. I've been doing a lot of college stuff this year. Obviously, I haven't dealt a ton with the prep class, but I think Lombard, like, you know, the swing. I think I just like Eric Booth Jr. better. I think the power upside. I think the contact has kind of proven itself from the things that I've been seeing and hearing and everything. A really good athlete as well. I mean, you can say a lot of the things for Lombard as well. Booth feels more like a pirate to me, I guess.
There you go. Hey, it takes one to know one, Mr. Pirate. JB, that is going to bring us to you at pick number 6 for the Kansas City Royals. For Prospects Live, at least, the last 2 mock drafts we've done, the Royals selection is now off the board. It's a brand new world for Kansas City. What are you thinking?
Yeah, so actually, who did we select before? Fun fact.
Booth.
I'm forgetting.
Before Booth?
Twice?
Booth twice. I don't
Booth
remember the one
okay.
before him.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking that's where it was, but I was just making sure before I made this comment. Yeah, I'm going completely different than that. They've gone a weird trend of college, high school every year. They took Sean Gamble last year. So I'll be continuing this trend and kind of going with what they like in college, which is a nice track record guy. Drew Burris at 6 here. I'm going to have Drew Burris here. He's kind of a high track record guy. They like the guys with high track records, so continue the trend.
It is an interesting trend for sure. I think that the thing about Drew Burris with the Royals too is that Burris, I think we all would agree that he could move very quickly through the minor leagues. Has some advanced elements to his game, and I think Kansas City would certainly never snub their nose at a major league ready outfielder either.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I set you up for I don't know if you see my mock, but I set you up to make the pick that I like in that spot. If you see my staff mock, I don't know, but I give you a little layup here.
I have not, but I mean, just knowing me and you, I feel like we're going to be on the same page here. There's something ringing in my head. So I'm on the board for the Orioles, picking at number 7. Here's what we know about the Baltimore Orioles. We know that this group of brass enjoys selecting college players. We know they like college players. We also know that they consider it was Jackson Holiday was the last prep player that they took in the first round, if I'm not mistaken.
It was indeed.
So I think that there's probably some room for me to go prep, especially a prep with bloodlines. But instead, I'm going to take Tyler Bell to the Baltimore Orioles here because I think that Bell's entire – I think the best way you could sum up Tyler Bell as a player is the Tampa Bay Rays, who many in the public, in the scouting, in whatever baseball space you want to think of, as being one of the most analytically driven and forward-thinking organizations in baseball, selected Tyler Bell in the second round 2 years ago. The player that we know now is better in every way than the player he was then. We've seen him continue to play and exceed at a high level. And if at this point what we have to worry about with Tyler Bell is maybe he swings and misses, a little too much on some spin. Maybe he swings and misses a little too much. I think that's something that the Orioles are never going to shy away from. We know that they've taken guys with more questionable swing and miss issues than Bell. I think that Bell would be kind of a windmill slam for them at 7 if he's available. At least the Drew Wheeler Baltimore Orioles will be doing that. So Josh, I'm gonna go to you now. Going to Josh Catlett for immediate grading of that selection. So the Drew Wheeler Orioles have selected Tyler Bell. Let's get your immediate grade, Josh.
I mean, you know exactly what you're doing. I'm gonna give it an F. Not really. I mean, it makes sense for them. I mean, like, he's going to take a haircut and he's going to save somebody a lot of money high in the draft. So on this podcast and off air, we've talked a ton about how we feel about Tyler Bell as a player. But, like, as a player, don't love it. There's upside there. There's also a ton of downside. But from a drafting perspective at this point, I get it. Like, the ceiling that you're getting for the amount of money that you're getting / saving with this pick is It's warranted, especially at 7. Like, to be honest, like it would have been funny if you let him fall to the Braves pick for myself, because I was going to take him just for the sake of money. But, I didn't have to put myself in that situation, so we're good.
Sometimes you put your friends in situations that you think is better for them. I'm not going to do that, though. I'm not that kind of guy, Josh. It's not who I am. It's not who I am as a person. Either way, JB, we're coming to you now on behalf of the Homeless Athletics, the Las Vegas Minto Athletics. You're on the clock for pick number 8, my friend. I'm curious which direction you're thinking that they're going to go here.
Yeah, well, I'll start off with a fun fact we've talked about. The A's have not selected a prep player outside of California since 2017, and I don't think they're ever going to do that again. So all of these guys that we love at the top of this board, I think they're going to sit on this board. And that leaves me between 2 people, and I'm going to go with this guy. I'm going to take Cam Flukie here. I think Flukie is a guy that I think for them, it's kind of similar to the Arnold track where he falls from where he could have been prior to the year, and they're going to love it and think he'll fast track to the big leagues. The other name I'll say that I had in there was Gracia. He's kind of proven track record, hit guy. Those are the 2 I was debating between, but I'll go with the high upside Cam Flukie here.
Love it. Cam Flukie. Jake is the selection for the Athletics. I'm curious, what's your take on that one, Jake? If you wanted to give it a grade like Josh did, that would also be cool.
I don't know what kind of grade I can put on that because I like Cam Flukie. I just think there's a lot of questions with him at this point. I think he's, whether it be injuries, he didn't pitch just a ton this year. He didn't look fully like himself when he came back from injury. I know you can take that however you want, but I think, the fastball, curveball are both really good from Flukie. I just think that there are questions with some of his performance that we saw when he came back from injury, and just the fact that this feels a little higher for Flukie than what I would probably take. I guess if I had to put a gray on it, maybe a C. I don't know, B-.
Okay, well,
Josh
JB,
Catlett F. We saw his face in the top left.
What more shocking than it is like bad pick.
Yeah.
Quinn, break the tie here, or rather chime in, because it seems like Jake and Josh are both in the "this is shocking" camp. What's your take?
I was pretty surprised too. To be honest, I was looking at him closer to like 15, not 15, 16. I had him as like one of my top 3 options.
Sure.
So surprising to have him go 7, 8 picks ahead, but I don't hate it.
JB, would it surprise you to know that I think this is very on brand for the Athletics?
No, that's why I did it. It was more track record based, like what you're playing with, and I feel like in reality of the real world, like I think they could do it and save money at the same time too, which is going to be big for them with the second pick. So,
yeah, totally. Speaking of knowing what they're playing with, Josh Catlett on the clock for his Atlanta Braves. Josh, the Braves are up at 9. The last time that they made a selection this high was when, sir?
I genuinely don't know, and I probably should.
2019
I was
with
about to say
Langoliers.
Langoliers, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, right.
He was at 10, I think, that year.
Yeah, he was.
Either way, you have a chance to make history. Oh,
I'm conflicted. I don't know what to do here.
Did you have the hat sitting there the whole time for this joke?
Of course.
I love that.
I prepare.
Good
All right.
job.
There's only so far Jacob Lombard can fall down this board, truly. But that's not a Braves pick. Lombard is not what Alex Anthopoulos does. I'm gonna go, I think, with the pick that I've seen mocked the most of the Braves, because it really just does make sense. Although I will say there's no definite track record over the past 3-4 years of kind of like, I forget who I was mentioning earlier. I think it was the Pirates. How there's not a definitive demographic of player they go for. I just know what they don't go for. And guys with hit tool question marks last year, like Braves drafted 3 shortstops with their first 3 picks, and none of them had big hit tool question marks. So like I don't really think that's kind of a thing they would do. I'm gonna go Gio Rojas. I think it makes the most sense here. It's prep arm with like it's a typical ton of it's a raw prep arm, possible plus fastball, possible plus slider, and I think that they may take a shot and spend a little more money here. Although I think this slot value is probably about what he's commanding is probably going to be about slot value around here. So it might not make too much of a hit on the wallet compared to what they're expecting. But I mean, I think it makes sense here. I think prep arm, and I mean, he's the relatively consensus best prep arm. Maybe not according to me, but according to a lot of people. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I think this is the play here.
Quinn, as it goes, is that kind of your opinion on Rojas as well?
Yeah, I have him pretty close with other guys like Carson Bowman, but yeah, he's been pretty consensusly mocked in this spot. I probably would have taken him if I was in the same position. So I think it's the right pick.
Very good. Very good. Jake, kind of same question to you, buddy. You said a minute ago you haven't really dove too deep into the prep class, but Rojas, is he kind of at the top of your prep pitching list?
Probably, and I think it's for good reason. I mean, he's a big body, left-handed guy, goes to a really talented high school, played a good schedule there, and then he's performed well. Upper nines fastball, a couple good breaking balls, change up there. I mean, he's got the arsenal that you look for in a starting pitcher, and I think just the projection, the athleticism on the mound, all that kind of stuff that just really he's kind of the total package, I guess. And I think he feels like as safe of a left-handed high school pitcher as you're going to find. It feels like to me.
There you go. You love to hear it. All right, that is going to put the Drew Wheeler Colorado Rockies. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Just fix that real quick. There we go. Going to put the Colorado Rockies on the board. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. I'll let you have your moment in the spotlight.
Thank you. I get very few of them. I appreciate that. You see the mountains? I drew the mountains.
I love the mountains. It's like a city connect.
Yeah.
Rockies. Come on.
Take notes. Anyway. All right. You mentioned it a minute ago. The slide of Jacob Lombard. How far is it going to go? I'm going to go ahead and tell you. It's going to stop either here or the next pick. I'm trying to decide where. It is going to be here, I believe. The Colorado Rockies are going to take Jacob Lombard. Here's what we know. We know that Lombard has got pretty much every tool you want and at least a plus. That being said, there are very real concerns about the bat to ball, and it's primarily in decision-making. It's in the eye. I'll say this. I came away from Jacob Lombard with my deep dive on him feeling better than I have all year long, just because I know the tools are incredibly loud. I think that a team can mold him into making better decisions theoretically. Now, are the Rockies that team? Maybe. I'm not going to say no. Maybe. I hope for his sake, because imagine that 2032 lineup with Jacob Lombard, Ethan Holiday in Coors. It could be some bangers.
And
Condon. Yeah, absolutely. Chase Dolander. Bangers. Some studs out there. I'm not going to leave Dolander out.
I'm about to say, fitting you mentioned that name.
Anyway, Lombard is the selection. So, Jake, I want to go to you. You just a moment ago said that you preferred Booth to Lombard. What would you make of this landing spot for Lombard? Do you think it feels realistic, and how do you think he would settle into Colorado?
Well, realistic in terms of, do I think he falls this far? Probably not. I don't think he makes it this far down the board, but I think if there's a place where he can get away with some contact issues and just really get into some of his power, I mean, Coors Field is the place to be.
That's true. I can't argue with that. Quinn, kind of same question to you, buddy. Lombard to Colorado. What would that look like to you?
I guess it kind of pairs up well with the Holiday pick from last year. Just two guys with good power, below average hit. I think it kind of, the way I'd feel about it will depend, I guess, how I feel about Holiday in a year, which I already don't feel great about. So I think the fit makes sense, but I don't trust the Rockies to make him the player he should be.
The fit makes sense. Maybe the experiment may go south, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. I can take that.
Drew, but before your next pick, can I ask you a question?
Hold on. Yes.
Awesome.
Get the Walgreens sign out.
Oh, I didn't make one. Hold on.
Walgreens logo.
I just did like a standard W. It's not nice either. It's like very poor.
That's a true Nats
No,
W.
that
though.
looks
I like that.
their
Okay.
City Connect from
Yeah, the City Connect.
Oh, the cherry blossoms, my
Get a cherry
favorite
blossom
City
on
Connect
there and
ever.
you're good to go.
Yeah, hold on. Let me go ahead, Josh. What's your question?
My question is, well, part one could lead into part two. Have you
Horrible.
have you looked at our staff mock draft predictions by chance?
No, I need to do mine. And Jake, I apologize. Why?
Awesome. So this next pick at number 11, weirdly enough, is the only pick that is consensus across the board. We all have the same pick. I don't know if you're going to the same place. But we all have the same pick.
May I also say that me and Drew are 2 for 2, and his picks were 2 for 2 in my personal mock and what he had right there. So
Let's go.
I thought that's where you're going with it. I had Lombard there too, so it's great. You know,
I love
we're
that.
in sync.
Simpatico. You gotta love it. I haven't looked. I can only assume I'm going to be making the same pick because this player with this team is maybe the most seamless fit of this entire draft, I would say. The Nationals have, I think what we've learned is that they want to take high upside prep. We know that they have a need for bats because that's what they're trading for. They're trading for young, talented hitters. But we know that they've developed some incredible young, talented pitchers. What if we got both? Jared Grindlinger, come on down. You are the Washington Nationals. If you're asking me right now, and I'm the guy with the Washington hat, so I would think you are. I think the lefty ends up being a pitcher long term. That's just me. I'm curious. I'm going to go round table here. Josh, Grindlinger, pitcher or hitter long term?
I say pitcher.
JB,
I thought he was nasty on the mound, pitcher.
Jake,
Yeah, I'm going to go with the guys and say pitcher.
Quinjamin,
I'm not going to change pitcher.
whoop-de-doo. There we go.
He can hit though. I'll say it. He can hit.
I was not unimpressed with the bat. So yes, I agree. That is a terrible cherry blossom. Y'all let me get away with that. Oh my gosh. Now
You
doing
did
it
in the camera, so you know.
that fair enough. Josh, that's going to bring us to you selecting for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Your plan thus far for the Angels. Have we thrown it into flux? Is there something you didn't expect maybe here?
Yeah, so the guy I wanted really badly here is not here right now. And this is an issue for thanks, JB.
I figured, yeah.
I just think there's a very if hypothetically it were to fall like this on Saturday, I'm not sure the pick I'm about to make is accurate, but I hate what I'm about to do. I really do. I don't like this. But there's a certain demographic of player that they are specifically going for, I think, and they have shown to go for in recent years. And if we're going for a player archetype within the demographic of player, I'm using a lot of words right now.
I like it.
I think this makes sense. I'm taking Liam Peterson.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
I don't like it. I don't like this. But I think college arm is just where they've shown they like to go this early. The way that they trust their development program to develop guys that have already been at relatively good college programs in terms of developing arms. I think Florida's along the same lines of look at last year, UC Santa Barbara, LSU, similar-ish reputations. And I mean, Peterson's a guy with massive fastball, big stuff, great slider, but a little bit control issues. It kind of seems like a pick they would make in this spot, like Chase Shores-ish, not a perfect comparison, but it's similar-ish. I mean, there's not a Tyler Bremner equivalent on the board right now, I don't think. So I think if we're going based on track record and consensus boards, probably. I know Peterson's falling, and for good reason, but of the, we'll say 4-ish college arms I have relatively in the same range, Peterson fits what I think the Angels are trying to do the most, so I'll take him here.
I like that. Like that for sure. Let's see. Jake, you are on the clock for your St. Louis Cardinals. Can you shift your head to the right slightly?
I am. My hat. I would have to stand up to get my hat. I wasn't prepared. We can pretend I have a STL on here because that's what I would normally be wearing.
Beautiful Cardinals hat, but you've got the pennant over your shoulder. It is still an accurate war room for the Cardinals. I'm curious, Jake, St. Louis, who are you looking at?
Yeah, I'm kind of down. I'm kind of down to two. And there are two guys that I somewhat expected to probably make it here. So I've been tossing it around a little bit. But like knowing St. Louis, like I get they have Heim Bloom now, and it could be a little bit different. They typically don't take a lot of guys with like red flags. They take a lot of safe guys. They don't take a ton of risk in the draft. And I think the two guys that I'm thinking about, there's not a ton of risk that really comes with them. I'm gonna go Derek Curiel. This isn't a pick that I've seen a ton here to the Cardinals. I've seen a lot of AJ Gracia, and I think that also could make a ton of sense as well. But I'm going Derek Curiel. I think he's going to be good in the outfield, which they can have some safety in knowing that he's going to play good defense. That's something the Cardinals do value a ton. The hit tool has proven itself as long as these 2 years that he's been at LSU. He's the question's obviously the power. Don't know if it's going to come or not. It's flashed a little bit here and there, but I think if I'm thinking about safe players that's still on the board with not a ton of injury risks or not a ton of injury history, I should say, pure hit like a sure hit tool, good defense in the outfield. I think Curiel feels like a Cardinal.
I think that I would agree with that sentiment wholeheartedly. Derek Curiel kind of feels St. Louis to me personally. I love the selection. JB, your talents as well as the pick are being taken to South Beach. You're up for the Marlins. I'm curious what you're thinking.
Yeah, they tend to love a lot of prep guys in the past. Mostly they've sprinkled in a few college guys in there. But they've been pretty heavy in the prep scene, and I think they've had a guy kind of fall into their lap that I like a lot. And I wanted to do this one, so I'm gonna rip the Band-Aid off. Carson Bowman into the Marlins here at 14. He's a guy that I think he's someone that I think is prospect fatigue to a max, and I think he's got a lot of undeserved doubt that I think is not there in the scouting community necessarily, to my knowledge. So I'm gonna go with Carson Bowman here. I think he kind of fits the past demographic, BPA. I think he's high ceiling, great arm. So yeah.
I love it. I'm definitely with you on the point about prospect fatigue being a real thing. I think if Bowman is not the poster child, he's standing right beside Rock Chalowski in terms of being the poster child for prospect fatigue in this class. Quinn, I'm going to give you another moment. You were up for 3 of them things in a row. So in the interim, Josh, I want to go to you. Carson Bowman to the Marlins. What do you make of that fit? Give it a grade.
I'll give it like an A-. I love Carson Bowman. I have for a while. That might not be well documented on here, but it is a lot of other places, including my Twitter. Go check it out. My updated list will be coming out soon. It will still be in the top 10, I guarantee. I'm not sure. I think the disagreement here that I would have is that I'm not sure this is a pick the Marlins would make. I would love it for them if they did. But I mean, past couple years, each of their first 2 selections haven't been an arm. Last year, I don't think they had a single day 1 arm pick. So this would just be different for them. Then again, coming into last year, it was a shoo-in that they're going to go prep because that's what they always do. And then they went 2 college bats with their first 2 picks, I think, if I remember correctly. I know the first one was. So, I mean, they might be all over the place for all we know. But it's an interesting fit. I would be a fan of it. If he were to go off the board at 14, I'd be all on board. I think it's a great value pick for them.
Word. Think so too. Quinn, that brings us to you. Out in the desert, Arizona, Phoenix, JB. In one word, describe Phoenix.
Hot.
Quinn, it's hot out there in Phoenix. Who's going to the hot land in Phoenix to play for the Diamondbacks?
Yeah, so I got a lot of thoughts going on in my head because I have the next 3 picks, so I'm trying to figure that one out. But for right now, I'm going to go Trevor Condon.
Very good.
I've been a big fan of Condon. I feel like the Diamondbacks like to look for bat-to-ball guys with above-average speed, and I think Condon fits the bill there, given their Case and Cunningham, Slade Caldwell picks the last couple of years. And I think it fits with their recent, prep bat college pitcher demo. I have them at 31, so a little bit of a hint there as to where I'm going. But, yeah, I think Trevor Condon's a really good fit here, and I think he's going to thrive in Arizona.
Love it and appreciate that hint for 31 as well. Jake, really quickly, Condon to the Diamondbacks. Can I get a letter grade from you on that one?
I think that I think I can give that one an A pretty safely. I like the pick. He was a guy that I was also tossing around with the Cardinals. If I was going to go with a high school bat, I think I was going to go with him. So yeah, I like the pick.
Quinn, good grades, Magoo over there. You got an A. I love it. Gotta love that. Report card's looking nice. Well, conveniently enough, Quinn, you're up again. Representing this time the Texas Rangers, the Rangers of Texas. Walker, where are you? He's a Texas Ranger. Quinn, number 16, what you thinking?
So before this started, I was thinking pitcher, but we've had one guy slide a little bit that I want to end the slide. Ryder Helfrich, former Brewster Whitecap, my guy. He's the slide ends at 16. To be honest, I don't see him getting here, but if he's here, I have to take him because I think he's really good. So that's the pick.
Quinn, I'm going to actually go back to you super quickly. I know you have another pick here, so you can make this quick. I think Helfrich makes a lot of sense for Colorado. I saw Lombard still there and really wanted to mix it up a bit. And I like my logic, but at the same time, passing on Helfrich specifically was really tough.
Yeah, no, it made sense why you passed on him given the Lombard slide. But the Helfrich Colorado pairing seems pretty common these days.
It is pretty common. And if there's anything I am, it is uncommon, if not rare. Maybe even super rare, ultra rare, secret illustration rare. Who knows? JB, super quickly, let's get a grade for that one. Ryder Helfrich to the Rangers. What are you thinking?
A+. That's an easy slam dunk. A+. Yeah.
Another A+ for grades, Magoo. He is living on a high right now. Quinn, can you make it 3 in a row? You are up for the Houston Astros at pick number 17. Houston, we have a draft pick.
Yeah. This is obviously my third of 3 in a row, so I'm a little not totally sure I want to go yet. Down to a couple guys.
Okay.
I think Gracias slid a little bit in terms of where I have him. Also considering Justin LeBron and Zion Rose, given the Astros' tendency to go towards projectable college bats. I'm going to go with my guy. I'm never going to pass up Zion Rose. Today's not going to be the day. Absolutely love Zion Rose. And I think really all you have to do is change the launch angle a little bit. Then you got, in my opinion, a star. I have him, where do I have him? 15th right now. I might bump him up a little more. He's my guy.
Quinn, if there was ever a Quinn guy, it is Zion Rose.
Absolutely.
And you know what? I think the world is actually coming around to your side a little bit. I've seen so much Rose love lately. So you may have been onto something, pal.
I hope so. I've been onto him since his senior year of high school.
Very good. JB, let's get a grade on that one from you as well. I know you've got a minute before you make a pick, so I'm going to probably beat you up with grades here for a minute. What's the grade on that one? Astros taking Zion Rose at 17.
I think it's an A. I mean, the Zion Rose, too. I mean, he knows I like Zion Rose. There's some bias here. I got to see him in person for a bit, and this dude just mashes. I know there's a lot of unnecessary hate, I think, on him. You know, he had an injury this year that kind of banged him up. He was in a boot for a bit to start the year, didn't play for a few months. But the dude, he just finds a way to hit. And I think a lot of people hate on the raw power, but when you've seen him in game, he's shown before that he can really get into a baseball. So I think he's a guy that's an easy kind of high-end talent, high bat to ball, good athlete, all that.
Gotta love that. Gotta love that, Quinn. 3 straight A's? Wow. Honor roll, I guess principals list for this young man. Hey, you go and get yourself a prize out of the cabinet. And that is going to bring us to pick number 18, the Cincinnati Reds. It is Jake. Jake, this pick belongs to the Reds. What are you thinking?
Yeah, there's a few different ways I could go with the Reds, and I mean we can say that obviously for every pick from here on out. There's a bunch of ways that things could go because guys are falling. Like Chris Akopian's fallen. He hasn't come off the board yet. He's known as kind of one of the most sure bats all around in the class. Justin LeBron, Quinn talked about him. He's fallen. He doesn't necessarily feel like a Reds pick to me. AJ Gracia has kind of fallen down the board a little bit. I'm going to go with none of those guys. I'm going to go with my favorite pitcher on the college side left, and I'm going to go with Cole Carlone. Big time fastball, left-handed pitcher. The Reds have gone college pitcher relatively often early in drafts. I think you're getting a lot of good with Carlone. Like I said, the big fastball, maybe the best slider in the class as well, arguably. Answered a lot of control concerns this year. Walk rate dropped a lot. I think the Reds should be happy about getting Carlone at this point. This feels like the range that he's probably going to go. Probably not too much earlier than this, but I like the left-handed pitcher, electric fastball starter potential with Carlone.
Wow, I think that's a great pick. May or may not be a little sore for an upcoming pick of my own, but I like the selection, Jake. Let's see, JB, we will go back to you here. Let's get a grade on that one. Cole Carlone to Cincinnati, says Jake.
Give a solid B+. I like it.
You're just handing out A's to everybody, and you can't give an A to me.
I'll give it a B+. I like it. Yeah, I mean, I could see it. There's a lot of different demographics they go for. I think so. It's a tough one. I really like Carlone. I'm curious to see what they would do with him in Cincinnati, because they've kind of had an interesting time with arms. But I know they've gotten guys to the big leagues quick, so I think it's a good fit for sure. But yeah, I'll change my grade. A solid A-. I'll give Jake.
You don't have to change it. You can stick with what you want. It's fine.
No, I'm more I think about it, the more I'm like it fits. A-. Yeah. Stick with that.
Jake, that's why you always go back for extra credit, Jake. Well done. I'm glad you learned that lesson. Josh, you are on the clock for the Cleveland Guardians. Formerly a team with a problematic mascot, now a team whose mascot reflects statues. What does that mean for their draft? I don't know. That's for you to link. Go ahead.
I don't know where to go from that, but all right. I'm in a real genuine spot here. There are 5 college bats specifically, that for my money might all, if not 3 or 4 of them, be gone by this point in the real draft, but they've all fallen here. I'm torn. Cleveland has shown a tendency to go college bat recently, at least this high. I'm trying to think about the demographic of which player would fit the best here. You know what? Forget it. It's me. I have to do it. Give me Chris Acopian.
Yeah.
I mean, there's I'm going to get one of these guys to fall to me in my next pick, guaranteed if I want to. Some are more risky than others, but I mean, Hakopian's here. Based on talent, he's projected as higher than this, but there's a good chance he falls about this low in the real draft, just based on injury stuff and whatnot, maybe lack of defensive value. None of that. I don't know. There's really no bat of the 5 that I was looking at that fully fit a Cleveland mold. So one of y'all might disagree. I don't know. But I don't think anyone really fits a Cleveland mold of the guys that are available right now. So I'm just going to go with my best available, and I think most teams' best available besides maybe 1, maybe 2 other guys. And I'll take Acopian.
Gotta love it. Quinn, you have got a minute before you make a selection, so I'm going to ask you. Let's get a grade for Josh. Chris Acopian going to the Cleveland Guardians.
I'm going to go with a B. I'm just not the biggest Acopian fan personally, but I think the pick's fair.
You and JP
Quinn
should make your own podcast.
Yeah, Quinn.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Quinn, let's go. That's what I'm talking about right here.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the back injury just scares me a little bit.
Right. That's what I think that's why he would fall.
For sure.
In this range, maybe the 20s, if anything. The talent is a pretty consensus top 10 thing, but the back injury is going to bring him down. And he's just sitting right there. That said, I can look at 2 guys that I would be floored if the Red Sox even have the ability to take them at this point, that are just sitting there right now. But yet here we are. I wouldn't be floored about Hakopian being there. It would suck. I would hate it, but it might happen. But he's sitting there for me, so I just had to do it. I had to stick to my bits at some point.
No, it's the right pick. I think I'm just concerned about the back injury lingering and then making that
For
top
sure.
10.
Well, it's like a hamstring, you kind of see like for any people that are basketball listeners that are listening to this, it's kind of like Jalen Williams of my beloved Thunder this year had a couple hamstring injuries in the past year or two. And that's one of those things where it can never fully heal. And it just like, it's very easy to be re-irritated and it comes back based on the slightest thing. That's what a back injury is. The same kind of back injury is like this. And you never know when it can be retweaked again. So I get it. I just think the talent.
I mean, damn, Josh, you could just say a lot of hitters, get back injuries and they aren't the same after. But of course, we go to the Thunder. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm giving relevant comp to the people. All right. Yeah, I got my new little championship tickets thing in the back corner now. I got to represent. I don't have my flag in the back anymore. I have to say it with my words.
I'm glad you did.
Thank you.
Being that this is a podcast, so thank you.
Exactly.
Baseball podcast. We can't forget that.
Well, that is true, JB. Speaking of baseball, the Boston Red Sox are a team that play professional baseball.
That's a much better segue than the Guardians one. That's how you do it.
I tried to throw you off with that Guardians thing, and it was some nonsense. Here's the situation. Josh, you gave a wonderful kind of allusion to it just a minute ago. I'm going to say this. I think the Red Sox are almost certainly going to take a pitcher. That said, what do they do whenever you have a hitter who is, I'd call him a B-tier college hitter from your neck of the woods sitting, the Northeast, sitting on the doorstep for you? What do? I think we let the slide continue. I don't like it. I don't like it, but I think I'm going to let the slide continue for this outfielder specifically, and I think I want to stick with the college pitcher that I had in mind. We like a fastball that moves with Boston. We like knowing that we can develop some secondaries, kind of do some tweaking here and there. Hunter Dietz, you are a Boston Red Sox. Come on down. I like this. I like the fit. I really, really toyed with Tegan Kuhn's here, though. I think that Kuhn's fastball, it's not 1-to-1 with the Red Sox, but I do think that would be an interesting dev and player combination. Either way,
you lost Josh with that quote right there. Josh
said, "To hell with this, I'm done." That's okay. That is okay. Because as you guys well know, I am up and on the clock again. But while I'm confirming my selection, JB, I'd love it if I could get a grade from you, please, sir, on Mr. Wheeler's selection of Dietz to the Red Sox.
A+ fit. If you don't know from the mock the other night, that we discussed heavily. I did toss this bone out there, and I absolutely love it, Drew. I think you hit the nail on the head because he's a guy with, they love pushing the secondaries. I think they're going to try to help them adapt and adopt more secondaries, push the changeup more, maybe throw a cutter in there, something shorter. The slider's already got a lot of whiff, and the cut ride fastball is kind of a thing they've kind of loved recently. So I definitely love the pick here.
Thank you. When you brought that up about the cut and ride on the fastballs, I did a little bit of digging the next day, and I was just like, man, JP, what a point. It was so good. And you think about it, Hunter Dietz, it's just a really natural fit, I think. Now, is that going to be the pick? Possibly.
Probably not.
I think that probably not. Probably not. I do really like the college outfielder that I was alluding to, and I think the Red Sox may snap that up. It's just hard. It's hard to say. All right. Drew is back on the clock for the San Diego Padres. And what we know about the Padres is that they are going to take probably the oldest college player in the draft. It's been consistently their history for years now. And so I'm going to obviously not. We're talking prep exclusively. And I like to think of the Padres as being some of the smartest in the room. Now, I am really left with an interesting choice here about whether I want to take a Padres-esque player who I think might shake this board a little bit, or if I want to stick closer to what I think and go with my top prep bat. What should I do here, fellas? Should we shake it up, or should we go kind of chalk? I'm going to go chalk. Sorry. So for the San Diego Padres, I'm going to select my top prep bat available, Blake Bowen. I'm going to go with Bowen to the Padres. I think that what you're seeing here is obvious tools, obvious athleticism. Again, like several of the guys we've said, though, there is just an unfinished edge that needs to be hemmed and adjusted for Bowen in order to kind of reach that 5-tool ceiling that I think a lot of people see for him. The power is very real. The speed is very real. The Padres need exciting players like this. I think that Bowen is one that they can take at this range and feel pretty confident about in terms of the ceiling for him. Jake, going to go to you, and then I'd love to hear from JB, and then I'd love to hear from Josh on letter grades, Blake Bowen to the Padres.
Letter grade. This isn't one that I've seen necessarily a ton. I don't think it's a bad pick at all. This definitely feels like something that the Padres could definitely do. I mean, I guess to give a grade on it, I'll say a B. Definitely not a bad pick. I think, I don't know, I guess some of the things that I've seen, I feel like Bowen might have lasted a little bit longer. But,
Sure.
Really good player. They like, preps with loud tools, and I think that's what they're going to be getting with Bowen.
I think so. JB, same question to you. Let's get a grade.
A+ for me. I love Blake Bowen. I mean, this is an absolute slam dunk fit if he got to this point, I think, for them, kind of. He's built like a linebacker, plus run times on the 60, insane raw juice, as me and Dodge saw at the combine. I mean, it's just everything to dream on there. So I love that.
Josh, curious your thoughts here. Not to kind of cut you off in advance of asking you the question, but I was considering a prep pitcher here that I know you're pretty big on. And I didn't take him, but either way. Curious, Bowen to the Padres. What's your grade?
That prep pitcher you were considering that I think you're talking about would make a lot of sense here. I think I love Bowen. I have for a while. He's top 10, top 12 prospect for me personally. That said, I think there's a 100% chance he gets past 21 in real life. I think there's no chance he goes as early. I'm going to give it, even though I do love Bowen, I'm going to give it like a B- just because of what's still on the board besides him. As much as I do love Bowen, there's like two guys I'm not as upset about the fact they're still falling. I get it, but there's two college bats in particular that I think are just such layup picks. And considering I have a pick in a couple from now, one of them I'm just going to be able to swoop up. If who's picking next?
It'd be Quinn.
Quinn, yeah. If Quinn doesn't take one of them, then I'm going to have a decision to make again. But we'll see.
Let's just ask this then, Josh. I know that we really have to probably be getting along on these next couple, but I think this is worth discussing. If the board shook out like this, do you think the Padres fly in the face of their tradition or what's the tendencies to pick prep and take one of those college bats that's sliding?
I think the Padres are one of the more set in stone. I think they go prep arm, and I feel pretty good about that just in general. Even if the board fell like this, it's just like if you're gonna go bat, I think some of the college bats available might be more. I can see it happening more, and it would make a little more sense. Maybe I don't know. I don't hate the pick because
that's fair.
I personally love Blake Bowen, but if we're going predictive, I'm not sure this would be a pick they would do. I love it.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the feedback, the criticism. It's always. I know I can get it from you, so that's why I ask it. When you are up representing the Detroit Tigers, claws out at pick 22. What you thinking?
There are a whole lot of prep shortstops on the board, so it gives me a whole lot to think about. I could draft with my heart, or I can draft with my head. Unfortunately, this isn't what I would do mock draft. It's what I think they will do. So I'm going to go with Taj Marchand. I really wanted to go Connor Como. That's my guy. But Marchand is a dog. He's athletic as hell. Bat speed is very good. Bit raw, but Tigers dev recently has been really good, and I feel good about it. But I just want everyone to know Connor Como was right here.
Good to know. Good to know. That is going to bring us to Josh for pick 23, the Chicago Cubs.
Josh, what are you so unhappy about?
Can you make one pick easy for me? That's all I want.
Come on, Josh. Do you think the Detroit Tigers are going to take any college guy? Let's be so for real.
No, but it makes my life easier. Man. All right, you know what? Look, I don't know which of I'm trying to figure out in my mind which of these guys would I be the most shocked by if they were at 24 and beyond. Both of them equally, but I'm gonna go a different way than I was gonna go literally 5 seconds ago. because of all the rumblings I've heard and the helium around this guy recently, there is no way on God's green earth. I don't think that this could come back to bite me really bad. There's no way on God's green earth I think Ace Reese gets past 23. So I'm going to take him. And there's another guy that's still on the board that we've mentioned. And I personally think he has the better chance of sliding than Ace Reese does. So we'll see. But this is purely just like a Cubs are going to go this route. I think like college hitter has been what they've done pretty early recently, first couple rounds, last few years. Like I think this is something they would do. And Ace Reese has had a ton of helium recently. He's been seen as a first round guy for a while, but now he's moving up to I've seen him mocked 14 to the Marlins a lot. I've seen him within the top 15, top 20 a good bit. And if he fell to 23 for the Cubs, I think they swoop him up pretty easily.
I think that's pretty realistic as well. Coach, we're coming your way. Number 24, the Mariners. What are you thinking for Seattle?
Yeah, I mean, so the Mariners, whenever I found out I was getting them, they've been one of the tougher teams to kind of figure out what they might do because, like, they don't really have any, like, trend that I've been able to figure out that they just love. Like, they typically, like, they draft pitchers, and I had in this range that I wanted to get a pitcher. I was kind of banking on some of these top college arms to get to me, and they have. The ones that I kind of expected to get here did make it, but like similar to what Josh was talking about, I can't let like a guy like AJ Gracia fall anymore. I think that's the other guy you were mentioning. Yep. I think if AJ Gracia is on the board at number 24, regardless of if the Mariners expected him to be here, regardless of if like this is their traditional type of pick, I think they would, if like I said, there's not a ton of things to go off of with the Mariners. They kind of go BPA a lot of times, it seems. So I think AJ Gracia getting here, they have to feel thrilled about getting this kind of player at 24.
Look, Drew, I'm going to be honest, I have no idea what you're trying to say in our private chat.
That's okay. Jake, AJ Gracia to the Mariners. I would like to say, I think Quinn, Josh, and I have all kind of talked about Gracia as being a guy who could have gone significantly earlier than here, right? Mm-hmm. So Quinn, would you collaborate with that? You'd say, yeah, Gracia is a guy you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I have him on my staff mock at 8. So yeah, I'd say a little higher.
And Josh, Gracia, obviously the other player you were talking about when discussing Ace Reese, right?
Yes, I think there's two more low floor guys that could go above this range right now that are still on the board, but I can see a slide within reason. So I think this ends the national dilemma of where does AJ Gracia fall to?
All right, very good. Let's see. JB, going to you here. What do you think the fit with Gracia to the Mariners is? Obviously, like Jake said, pitchers has been kind of what I guess the Mariners are more known for recently, but Gracia, that fit in that org is also pretty solid.
Yeah, I'd go with trends. I think recently it's been it's college arms or high school hitters. But obviously if you get a talent that you like a lot that slips to you, I think that's the route that you probably go to if it's a guy that you love. So I could definitely see like if Gracia is sliding like this, which is like we kind of mentioned, maybe it wouldn't happen, but if it did happen, like obviously I think that's a great fit for that right there.
If you had to grade that selection, JV.
Oh gosh. I'm not a Gracia guy if anybody knows me. So it's for value, I will give it an A. I think it is a value of an A.
What do I have to do to get an A+ out of JB is what I want. You're just throwing these A+ out to every pick except for like my last 3.
Jake, if it makes you feel better, you have 3 more opportunities to get an A+ after this one.
Yeah.
No, it's just going to be pity at this point.
That's true. That's so true, though.
James
one of my guys yet, so
James Clark and his beloved Yankees at like 35 or something. That's the A+. Wait, well, hold on. Who has that pick?
JB.
Oh, no. Jake, you're out of luck. Sorry.
I've got 3 picks to get James Clark.
All right.
That is going to bring us to 25, where your boy Drew Wheeler will be selecting for the Milwaukee Brewers. I'm not going to play. I did get sniped. AJ Gracia, I think, was absolutely what I wanted here. I think that would have been like the rocket ship selection. I do think there are some college bats still on the board here that Milwaukee would be thrilled to see. But there's some prep bats as well that I'm just I love the fit. This is a sticky wicket, and I am rather confused here, guys. Being that it's the Brewers, college pitcher also makes a good lot of sense here. I don't know that the Brewers would be too. Oh my God, I am in Blendersville, USA. Population Drew. Okay. I am okay. All right. Nope. Gonna go with the original thought. It's Cole Prosek is gonna be the selection. I think that there's a lot of helium on this kid right now, and for good reason. It is some redonkulous power. It's some stupid stuff out of the state of Mississippi. Prosek is a guy who I think the Brewers that kind of profile, that power oriented infielder is something we've seen them kind of go to recently. And while I think that the college market has some of that, I think Prosek is a very exciting player. The Brewers would be excited to snap up there. Let's see. Josh, give me. Well, no, you're about to pick. Sorry, Quinn, give me a grade on that one. Prosek to the Brewers. What's the thought?
It's a solid A. Prosek just mashes, and Andrew Fisher also mashes, and so does Brock Wilken. I think it makes a lot of sense. The Brewers going with Prosek.
I agree. Josh, back on the clock for your Atlanta Braves. I believe that calls for a wardrobe change. Very good. Glad to see we're on the same page. 26, you are on the clock. What you got?
This is tough because this is where trying to predict what the Braves front office does becomes so increasingly difficult. It always is. There's no point in which it's not. I'm going to go with a pick that I know one person on here is not going to love, but at the way things are trending, yeah, he's smiling. He knows who he is. As a matter of fact, okay, can you predict, based on that info, can you predict who I'm about to take?
I honestly, I don't have a clue.
He's boosting up draft boards into about this part, if not higher, of the first round in mocks recently. And I think there's a lot
Go ahead, Josh. We're just going to let you rip the Band-Aid off, and we'll see.
All right. Mason Edwards out of USC. I know you don't like it if we took him at 9, but we've had that conversation.
I like this here. That's good. See, you're misinformation, slander out here.
Yeah, my bad. All right.
We go from talking about picking a guy at 9 to 26 or whatever, and
you should be happy because I would be happy with this pick. I think the Braves tend to go arm pretty heavy early on, although last year was just an anomaly of all anomalies. If they go double arm in the first round this year, it would make sense to me. Double lefty arm, actually. I mean, the Braves, how do I put this? Mason Edwards is a guy with a potentially plus fastball, big ride, potentially plus knuckle curve that he locates well. I think this is a guy that can move through the farm system pretty quickly. And as a Braves fan, we need help at the big league level pitching bad. So as quickly as he can move through the minors, I would appreciate that. And I think this would be a guy that I think is a pretty reliable one to do so. It would make – I think this would make a lot of sense if the pick fell into their lap like this.
I like the selection. I like it here. I like Edwards here because it does feel – it feels like Atlanta lines up with Edwards pretty well. I like the selection, Josh. You didn't ask, but I'll give it a B plus A minus.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I was going to see how
I
you
would have
react.
given you an A, Josh.
It's a
Don't
B
worry.
plus. Had you been appreciative of the grade, you'd have got an A minus.
Well, I mean, you can just look at what's on my hat, and you can grade it based off that. It's right there in front of you.
Nah. Jake must endure the suffering. Meet the Mets. It's time for Jake to meet the Mets. Who's he thinking at pick 27?
Yeah, so I do kind of have my mind made up. I think it's a kind of an easy pick at this point in the draft. There's 2 bats falling. There's 2 big college bats that are falling here. The guy that I'm going to pick, it's Justin LeBron. He's probably going to go. I mean, I've seen him, as crazy as it sounds, I've seen him as early as a crazy like top 5 for a team that's wanting to reach that far on him. I've seen him as low as I guess around this range. I mean, there's a ton of risk with the hit. Obviously, we've discussed it a ton on podcasts. We've discussed it a ton one-on-one outside of the recordings and everything. That's a ton of risk. It's not anything that anyone's hiding at this point. But like everything else has potential to be, if not already, plus or better. I mean, the raw power is obviously plus. The glove, we saw it in person. He looks a little lazy with the glove at times, but I think it's easy when he fields the ball. It looks easy. Plus arm, easy double plus runner. Like everything is great, and I think Justin LeBron arguably has like, if he hits, it's the biggest if probably in this range. But like if he hits, could become one of if not the best player in this class. I mean, I'm not going to put him up there with Rock, but like if the hit tool fixes itself somehow, like he has this high of upside as anybody in the class. So I'm going to go Justin LeBron. It feels like a Mets pick as well. If he gets to this point, they're not scared to take guys that have this sort of risks attached to them. Him and Stroh-Snyder are both falling. I just, LeBron's got other things more going for him, I think, than Stroh-Snyder does. So I'm going LeBron.
Interesting. I do think this feels like a Mets pick. I think that they would be unafraid to take the risk at 27 on that kind of combination of tools and upside. So, Jake, I like it. I like it almost as much as the Edwards pick. I'd probably say, again, B+, A- for that pick. I do like it a lot. Nice work. Quinn, that brings us to you. The Astros back on the clock. Earlier in our mock draft, just for those of you at home, Quinn, you selected Zion Rose for the Astros, and I'm curious, what are you thinking for their second round of selection?
Yeah, so this is kind of uncharted territory for the Astros. They haven't even had a second round pick in the last 2 years. So I'm going to shake it up a little bit. I was thinking college pitching, but I'm going to shake it up and go Luke Williams.
Oh.
I think they can shave a little bit off of Zion Rose. Luke Williams had some elite athletic testing, force plate numbers, and I think Houston is a team that would care about that. So I'm going to go Luke Williams, probably at or a little over slot maybe, and shake up the board a little bit.
Love that pick, Quinn. When taking ProSec, I nearly took Luke Williams. So love the pick, obviously. Think that's great. Jake, I want to go to you here. Luke Williams to the Astros at 28. What's the grade on the pick?
Friend of the pod, Luke Williams gets an A from me. I like Luke Williams a lot. I think he's a really, obviously, Quinn said all the high points about him. Really good athlete, crazy arm, really good showing at the combine. I think, I don't think it's totally out of the realm of what the Astros would go for necessarily. I like the pick. I like Luke Williams.
Definitely. JB, that is going to bring us to you. You are on the clock for the first of 2 in a row. You are going back to the San Francisco Giants. Earlier in the mock, you selected Jackson Flora for them at number 4. Curious, what are you thinking at 29, JB?
Yeah, they kind of love college guys in Posey's first year, so I'm going to stick with the college guys. And they've particularly liked left-handed bats, and it's funny we mentioned a slide guy. Sawyer Stroh-Snyder is who I'm going to take here. I think Stroh-Snyder kind of fits the bill with them, high athlete, left-handed hitter, so I'll stick with Sawyer Stroh-Snyder here.
I like that a lot. Josh, let's go to you for an immediate reaction. Sawyer Stroh-Snyder to the Giants at 29. The slide. What did you say a minute ago? The national. You said something really clever.
The national dilemma of where
where
Sawyer Stroh-Snyder ends here. That's about right. I mean, I think this is along the lines of LeBron in terms of a guy in this range that could slide, and it wouldn't really shock me. Like, I think sliding to this range, it would be one of those things where on draft day, we're on the live stream saying, like, wow, by the way, Stroh-Snyder not picked yet, but it wouldn't be as shocking as other guys that are in his perceived range. So I like this. I think this would be a great pick for them, though, if he were to get here.
Jake, kind of same question really quickly. If you had to give it a letter grade, we'll flip the script for you to grade JB.
Okay, JB, I'm going to give you an A. Even though you don't like handing out A's to me, I will give you an A. No, it's the right pick. It's the right pick here. If he falls this far, I don't suspect him to make it too much farther. Josh mentioned everything about him. You mentioned everything about him as a player. I think he would fit to the Giants at this point if he makes it this far. So it's an A for me.
Well done. With the 30th pick, JB, you're back up for the Kansas City Royals. As we discussed earlier, JB, a little bit of a different look for the Royals to some of our Prospects Live staff mocks. You got Drew Burris at pick number 6 for the Royals. What's going to be their second pick of the draft at 30?
Yeah, I'm going to go more the prep route here. And I'm going to kind of – I was debating between two guys, but I'm just going to go with the top guy, like Rocco Maniscalco. That's who I'm going to take here. It's between him and Sheelar for me, honestly. So I'm going to go with Maniscalco. I think, they probably go the prep route with the second pick, and he's a guy that kind of has been a top performer. Fits in here. I think it's a good range for him.
Love it. I do agree with you. I think that will be an easy kind of bounce into both demographics there for the Royals and what talent they would pull at 6 and 30 if that is the case. Quinn, we're back with you, sir. Pick number 31, the Diamondbacks. Earlier in the draft, you selected Trevor Condon for them, and you gave us a little bit of a teaser saying that you were thinking about bouncing like they do into the college pitching ranks.
That's exactly where I'm going. I'm going to go with Joey Volchko. I think he is on an extremely upward trajectory after his dominant Omaha start. It is kind of similar to Patrick Forbes from last year, as in had some command issues, definitely more so than Forbes, but stuff is better. Obviously has that premier performance that I don't think we saw from Forbes just as much. So if Volchko dropped into this early second round portion, I wouldn't be shocked. This is probably right around the range where he goes from that early-ish 20s to early 30s, probably that range. I would think he starts getting talked about. So we're going to go Joey Volchko here.
I love it. Great selection. JB, we'll go to you for the immediate grade there. Volchko to the Diamondbacks at 31. What's your thoughts?
I love it. From us all being there, I think all of us love it. I think it's an A. I mean, he's a guy that's really stood out there. One of the better pitching performances we've seen in person, probably for the three of us. Yeah, I love it. I love this stuff. It's nasty.
Indeed it is. Nasty stuff. Volchko to the Diamondbacks at 31. Jake, that's going to bring us back to you and your pennant for the St. Louis Cardinals at 32. Earlier in the draft, Jake, as you will recall, you selected Derek Curiel for your Cardinals. Who is becoming Redbird alongside Mr. Curiel?
Yeah. So if the Cardinals make this pick that I'm about to make for them, I'm probably going to be the happiest person on earth, I think. So that's why I'm going to be taking it. I'm going to go Tegan Kuhns to the St. Louis Cardinals. The Tennessee right-handed pitcher, extremely projectable pitcher. He's a true sophomore in this class. He just turned 21. Was a guy I loved in high school. I saw him in person up here in Gettysburg. But the stuff has really taken a step up since he got to campus. Really good curveball, change-up, fastball in the upper nines, getting close to 100. I just think there's a ton of room in the frame to grow as well. And will they do it? I don't 100% know. They went Liam Doyle last year. Went with a Tennessee pitcher last year. Why not go with Tegan Kuhns this time?
Tanner Franklin. That Tennessee to St. Louis pipeline is really rich right now with pitching. So interesting stuff. JB, you know what we got to ask. What's the grade on this selection? Kuhns to the Cardinals.
Jake finally went in a route that I really loved. It's an A+ for me. A+.
Oh, yeah. Clap it up.
This is really it right there. I mean, it's a plus fastball. I mean, everything you could dream on there. Exactly. So A+, 100%.
Jake, how's it feel?
I don't know how serious I should take it. I have one pick to go, so we'll see what he has to say later. I'm happy. I'll take what I can get out of JB at this point.
C- incoming, Jake, but we'll see how you make that come to fruition. Speaking of come to fruition, Josh, you're back up with the Rays. Your plans came to fruition at number 2. Grady Emerson selected by you for the Rays. You're back up 31 picks later. What's the move, buddy?
Yeah, this might be an unpopular pick too. But I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm juggling a couple different options here because since they went prep bat early on, I think they could save money and go college bat here. But I don't think in this range would be like a Logan Hughes or a Daniel Jackson. I don't think Hughes fits a Rays demographic, and I don't think they would take a catcher at this point.
Josh, one of your boys.
Oh, no, that is my boy. I just don't think he's a Ray, like just objectively. He could fit like 25 other teams. He's just not a Ray. Who I think is a Ray is Bo Lawrence. I think he will inevitably go somewhere in this range. Really solid defender at the hot corner. Big, lanky body, but really good hit tool for his build. Gotten some pretty good power too from the left side. I think this would be this could be a Rays pick, even though it would cost them a little bit, especially with Grady going as their number 2 overall.
I think that's accurate for sure. God bless you, Josh.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Gosh. All right. Quinn, we're going to go to you. Let's get the grade. To see Bo Lawrence going to the Rays at 33.
I think that's such a good fit. I'm going to give it an A. I really like that fit. It makes a lot of sense with how good his hit tool is.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Jake, we are back to you with the Pittsburgh Pirates. We are expecting some kind of a low grade here in a minute from JB, who has been your harshest critic tonight. Earlier in the night, you selected Eric Booth at 5 for the Pirates, Jake, and now 34, the Pirates are back on the clock. Who's walking the plank? Who's swinging? Who's wearing the captain's hat? Walk the plank will be like they're going to die. So this is the good thing.
I was curious. I was really curious to see how you wrap that all up there. I didn't know 100% where you were trying to go with that. But
me neither, man. Sometimes I start a sentence and don't know where it's going to end.
I did go Booth, and similar thought like Josh mentioned with the Rays. Maybe they could try and like save a little bit of money after going prep bat early, all that kind of stuff. I think I'm going to also follow in Josh's trend and take another prep bat that I particularly like. This is kind of a range. I feel like he's going to go I'm going to go Aiden Ruiz, the New York shortstop. Obviously, it's well known. He's one of, if not the best prep defender at shortstop in the class. I've heard some things about maybe, the arm stick at short. I think he just gets rid of the ball. Hands are quick enough. Everything else compensates for the arm being a little bit light. I've also got good contact ability as a switch hitter as well. I think there's upside there. Probably not a ton of power projection. He's kind of a smaller guy. I don't know how much power he's going to necessarily grow into, but I think the hit tool's there. He's obviously going to be a defender at shortstop. Let's say he makes it up there, and Connor Griffin is the shortstop until 2040. Aiden Ruiz is going to make a really fine second baseman for them if it comes to that. So I like Aiden Ruiz going here to the Pirates.
Well, we already know where we're going here. JB, Aiden Ruiz to the Pirates at 34. Let's hear the grade and the breakdown.
Easy A. He's a plus defend. I mean, the contact skills are out of the roof there with him. And, there's been a couple guys that have been similar to that they've taken in the past. Wyatt Stanford kind of was that way coming out in the draft when they took him. So I think it's a great fit and good pick by Jake. I love it.
Jake, good pick. 2 in a row for you. Look at you go, buddy. Coach coming in hot. Speaking of coming in hot, JB, you're up again with your New York Yankees. First pick in the draft at 35. What do you think that the old Bronx Bombers are looking to do?
I had 2 routes that I think I could go with this. I think I'm going to make Quinn a very happy man right here, and it's about to go down. I'm going to take Connor Camo out of Texas, the prep bat. I think it's a solid fit there. Yankees love the high hit tool, prep bat type of deal, guys that can hit. Camo is a guy that he just flat out mashes. So I think it fits the Yankees kind of prototypical idea and good spot for him to land.
Awesome. Josh, I want to go to you for a grade here. Actually, you're picking next, so that's a lie. I'm not going to do that. Quinn, we're going to go to you, and I'm going to ask you to be straight down the middle. Don't let your fandom get in the way here. Don't let the fact that you've been carrying the torch for Connor Camo. What do you think of the spit with him and the Yankees?
Clean 80 grade. Nah. I mean, I think it's pretty up there. He's such a good player. He's going to grow into so much power. Already has a great hit tool. Maybe he has a chance to stick it short. Glove's actually pretty good, given his size and long levers. So I think it's a good Yankees pick and a good pick for anybody in the draft.
All right. Good stuff. So from New York to Philadelphia, Josh Catlett, you will be selecting for the Philadelphia Phillies. Two of us, Jake. Well, Jake, you probably are okay with the Phillies. They're not the Cardinals, but I'd say you're okay with them.
Yeah, they've never personally offended me in any way. I guess I'm fine with the Phillies.
Three of the people in this call, Josh, have never been personally offended by the Philadelphia Phillies. JB, I can't speak for you. Josh, put your finger down.
I've been personally offended by them many times in my life, and very recently as well.
Well, then, you know what?
Quinn wears an NBA shirt, and it's fine, but I can't talk NBA. Hey, congrats on Jaylen Brown, Quinn.
So, Josh, you are up for the Phillies at pick 36. First pick of the draft for Philadelphia. What are you thinking?
I don't know. We talked about it beforehand. This is like one of the more confusing picks here because, like, last year their first 8 picks were arms. The year before that, their first 7 picks were bats. Like, what are they trying to do? I have no idea. It's probably more just like a best available thing in their perspective, obviously with the money taken into account. But I'm trying to think of which guy would I be the most shocked by if he fell out of the comp round and into the second round completely. I don't fully have an answer, but I lean towards that being Cade Townsend. So I'm going to take him here.
Cade Townsend.
I think that would be the more consensus best available. There's a couple college bats I'm looking at, and a high school arm, or 2 actually, that I think would be reasonable here. Hope they get taken very soon. I think Townsend makes a lot of sense here if the medical comes back all right. I think Philly would take a shot on him here, and he could work his way through that farm system pretty quickly if he heals properly.
I think that Townsend makes a lot of sense considering what the Phillies have looked for. I mean, even as early as their first overall selection last year, we saw that they were impressed by strong collegiate pitching. And so like this.
Weirdly enough, Townsend didn't pitch down the home stretch this year. It looked pretty poor when he did because of the end. That's the odd part. You're right, but that's the odd part there.
They do have some very jarring differences, and I'm glad you pointed them out. They are quite jarring where they separate. Quinn, really quickly, I'll ask you to give a grade for the Phillies. Josh Adams taking Cade Townsend. What's your thought?
Pretty happy with it. Give it a solid B+A probably. Makes sense for a Phillies team that needs an influx of pitching. I think it's a good pick.
Very good. All right, that is going to bring me up for 2 in a row for Colorado. Oh, sorry. 2 in a row for Colorado. Let me get that attached. All right.
Back.
We're so back. We never left, baby. We did actually. All right, lots to think about here. There's a lot of players that I think so here let's just pitch this really quickly out to you guys. Lombard at 10. I'm thinking that's got to be full slot, if not a smidge over for Colorado, right?
Full, probably right around full.
I would say over, but maybe right around full, like over if anything.
Okay. So then I want to take a prep and I want to take a college player here. College bat. I know who I need to take. I know who needs to go off the board here, but I don't know that the Rockies will make that decision. I'll just say the names out loud. We're far enough into this at this point that I can share my thoughts. I think Logan Hughes to Colorado is a very natural, very beautiful fit. I think Colorado at this point sees Daniel Jackson on the board and they might lose their absolute minds. We're going to go Dan Jackson, I think, is the selection first for the Rockies. I think that can save a little bit of money. I think that gets Colorado a player. My hat is falling apart. I think that gets them a player that can really play. The tools are loud, and obviously we'll see what happens from here. Has been trending a little bit upwards, at least in terms of what I've seen, considering where he's been in this class and in consideration. Either way, now comes to the tricky part because there are several prep arms left. There are several prep bats left. Oh, I want to pick a prep bat here. I just don't. Oh, my God. All right. I am going to take a prep bat, and I think I might have alluded to this during our oh my gosh. I think I alluded to it the other night during our staff mock call that the generational thing, I think with Colorado probably resonates. Probably the opportunity to stack two of those guys would be really impressive. But there's another prep guy here that I just think is so talented and has slid so far. I'm going to take Martin Cheelar here as well for the Rockies and kind of add to that double dip into incredible talent from the prep hitting ranks. And I'll take Martin Cheelar. Incredibly impressive this year. The combine, I could speak forever about it, but why would I do that when JB was there and saw him in person? Martin Cheelar, JB, what'd you think?
He's an extremely physical kid. I mean, the raw juice is off the charts, double plus easy on the raw juice with him. Great kid. We got to talk to him, did an interview. Probably will be out soon, I'm assuming. But yeah, he's great dude. 100% great fit.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. So yeah, that is going to wrap it up for me. Let me take that off. And that is going to bring us to Quinn for his final selection of the mock. The Blue Jays' first selection, Quinjamin, at pick number 39. Who's going north of the border?
Yeah, I think I want to go best player available. It's usually where they go, given that JoJo was right around best. Trey definitely was. Trey Savage. Arjun was right around it. Barrera probably was at the same time. And I think at this point, there's a lot of best available, given how you feel about certain guys. I know the Blue Jays like their size, and they have had a propensity to pick lefties, given the Barrera and Tiedemann picks. So Borthwick is higher for me. I'm going to go Logan Schmidt, though. It's really close. I really like Borthwick, but Schmidt's a really physical lefty, really good changeup, fastball, like sits mid-90s. I think he has a chance to get some more too. So I think this is a pick that the Blue Jays will have to spend a bit to get. I think he'll probably get some looks in that 20s range, but an expensive but worth it pick for Toronto here.
I agree with that sentiment for sure. Josh, a very visible reaction from you for your boy. We talked about taking him significantly earlier in the draft as well. He was, I forget what pick I was at, but I know I had entertained Schmidt there.
I know what it was. It was 21 to the Padres because he's been mocked.
That's it.
He's been mocked there tons of places. This is an A+. I love Logan Schmidt. That's very well documented. I think this would be a phenomenal pick for Toronto. I think I don't know in my mind. I can't make up my mind based on what I've seen and how I feel, how to kind of balance that based on how far I think he'll fall. Should he go higher than this? Yes, I think so. But this is probably about where he'll be, maybe a little bit lower than where he'll be. So this is an A+. The talent is very much there.
It is very much there. And JB, that is going to bring us to your homeland, to the Los Angeles Dodgers at pick 40. Curious who you're going to bring us home with here. The Dodgers' first selection of the draft. Who are they going with?
There's so many routes to go here that I got dropped into my lap that I just have no idea. There's a pick I could go off of kind of track record. There's a pick that's also a lot longer track record, but I'm just going to make it easy. Logan Redeman. It's hard to not put that name in the top 40 picks. So I'm going to take Redeman here. The past track record guy that I was thinking about was Ty Head in my mind. They love their athletes. He's a great athlete, great defend type of guy. But I'm going to go with Logan Redeman here.
Logan Redeman wraps us up. Great stuff. Guys, I do have another question for you. Just curious. Let's go best available on the board, and you can't say the same name as somebody who's gone before you. Quinn, who's your best two available?
Best two, probably Brody Bamila and Coleman Borthwick.
Very good. That will be my top two as well. Josh, let's go to you. Top two available.
Mine would be shocker Logan Hughes and Taylor Rabe.
Another two very good ones. JB, who's left on your board?
James Clark and Caden McCarthy.
James Clark, Caden McCarthy. Very good. Jake, who you got still on the board? Thinking this pretty solid.
Drew, this will make you happy. I'll say Eric Becker. And probably I'm a big Jack Riddell fan, so I'll throw him in there.
Very nice.
I feel like Aiden Robbins should be mentioned too in there somewhere.
Mhm.
I don't know if you were gonna go. You sometimes.
I guess Drew don't get to go. So
Well, no,
fine.
you
Yeah,
sometimes
let
pick
Drew
his
go. I mean, my God.
picks, all right.
Hayden Robbins is pretty good.
Oh, God.
This was fun. I enjoyed this. And guys, if you at home enjoyed the mock, let us know. Give us a letter grade. All of us combined. Every pick. We need your letter grades in the comments. Would love to know how we did. Anyway, it's been a great episode. We've gotten through a lot of stuff. Guys, over under 6. No, over under 8. How many picks of 40 did we get right? Quinn, over or under 8?
Yeah.
Under. Hard under.
Anybody taking the over? Anybody?
No, set the line at 5.5, and I still have to think about it.
Probably still go under.
I'll set it the line at. I'll set it at 6.5.
Yeah.
Quinn, over under.
Under.
All right, fine. You guys are no fun. JP,
Under.
fine. You know what? Fine. You know what?
I think we get a conversation if you set it at like 4.5. Then we're like, because there's a good chance we probably maybe
Stumbled
have
into
the top
10%.
3, and then like if we can get one out of the next 37 picks right, I think I'd be happy.
Yeah, we were talking beforehand about how like I'm posting my last mock on Friday, and when that goes out, if I get 5, maybe 6 picks right, I would consider it a win. That's just how mock drafts are across the NBA, maybe less than NFL and MLB, but especially MLB. Like that's just kind of the state of how it is.
Crazy how these things work. But it's like you said at the beginning, Josh, this draft is one unlike any other in professional sports. It is dictated and ruled by so many things beyond pure talent, beyond who's better. It's just kind of a wild animal all its own. But anyway, it's been a fun time mocking the draft out with you gentlemen. Quinn, we have very much appreciated having you on the show again. Would love it if you could tell the folks at home where they can find you between your appearances here and what you're working on right now.
Yeah, if you're a Zion Rose or Connor Como fan, give me a follow on Twitter at Quinn_Martin17. I will be posting a lot about them on draft day, I'm sure. I'll be finishing up my top 100, hopefully posted before the draft, and I'll be heading to the draft on Saturday, which I'm very excited about.
What? Oh my gosh, that's going to be so much fun, Quinn.
Yes, it is. Can't wait.
Indeed. It's going to be a great time. Jake, tell the folks at home, Coach, where they can find you between episodes and what you're working on, sir.
Yeah, I'm also working on a little bit of a rankings of my own that should get posted hopefully in the next, tomorrow, day or two, whatever. But Quinn went ahead and spoiled it. I'm also going to be at the draft this weekend. It's really close to me. Somehow someone was gracious enough to lend me one of their tickets that they got, so I'm going to be heading down to Philly and going to the draft.
Incredible! Wow, love it. JB, Mr. Sebastiano, where can the folks find you, and what are you working on right now?
Yeah, it's at JB_Sebastiano on Twitter. Working on finishing up a little USA thing. Also going to be trying to work on a little something for the draft. And, Drew, someone's got to ask you, where will you be soon enough? Where will you be, Drew?
I will be at work tomorrow, and I'll be at my house tomorrow evening. Thursday, I've got to work half a day, and then I'll be actually driving to Memphis, Tennessee to fly to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Hello? It's going to be great stuff.
About.
Yeah. Going to be great stuff. Thank you, JV. Thank you. Mr. Catlett, I would ask what you're working on, but I think you said it earlier. It's work. You're working on work.
Well, yeah.
Where can the people find you, and what are you working on baseball-wise?
You can find me on Twitter at JoshCatlett3. Baseball-wise, my top – trying to get this planned out fully. I think my top 200 prospects, my final one will be out Thursday on Twitter. I'm going to have a 2-round mock personally on Friday that I'm going to post. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that. I'll be on the live stream. I mean, we have to discuss the logistics, but I think the entire time, both days, that seems to be the plan as of now. So if you want to see my reactions to anything in the first 10, 12, however many rounds we're on here for, come to our YouTube page. You'll see my face live and in color.
Yeah. You sure will. Along with several other people from Prospects Live, along with some guests around the industry. Mr. Sebastiano will be there. You may see some videos from Mr. Martin, Mr. Bardry, and myself live from Philadelphia. We will have to just play that by ear. May also see some things from some other notable folks from around baseball. Who could it be? Oh my God, what is he talking about? Shh, just wait. It's going to be exciting, and it's going to be a good time. Memberships at Prospects Live start as low as $7 a month, guys. For the best baseball content in all the land, you can get it at prospectslive.com. Tips, tricks, lists, tools, articles, podcasts. You want it, you got it at prospectslive.com. Guys, we have not mentioned Home Run Empire this episode. An outstanding game. Obviously, they're getting a lot of love from me. I'm going to be on a plane ride very soon. That seems like something that's right up my alley. Can't wait to get the Empire rolling again and get Drew Wheeler's Tennessee Vols back on top where they should be. If you're interested in following me for whatever reason between our episodes, you may do so on the Twitter machine, on Instagram, on Blue Sky at Drew is okay. We've got a ton of content coming out. It's going to be outstanding. We've got interviews. We have lists. We have mocks. We have gripes. Hopefully somewhere amidst all those things, Drew can get some stuff out from his own brain to you as well. We'll see what happens. No promises, but I'd love to do it. Speaking of love to do it, guys, great episode. This was a lot of fun. The mock was great. Can't wait to hear what you think at home. We, again, would welcome you to leave your grades for all of us combined. How do we do? Let us know in the comments below. Give us a like, a share, a follow, all those great things. Until next time, for Quinn, for Jake, for JB, for Josh, I'm Drew. We'll see you next time. Take care, and bye-bye.